Over the past year, we've seen a huge increase in the amount of stress we deal with on a daily basis. Clinical psychologist Dr. Kathleen Mojas is here to break down a unique stress buster that we can all try out. Welcome to the show, Dr. Mojas.
Thank you, Dr. Orton. Really happy to be here.
Well, let's talk tapping.
I'm so excited to talk tapping because in 30 years of practice, I discovered tapping 16 years ago, and I think it's one of the most effective self-help techniques I've ever discovered. So basically, it's a combination of Eastern Chinese medicine and Western psychology. Basically, it involves tapping on these certain acupressure points while you're focused in on anything that's upsetting you or stressing you. It actually helps to turn off the brain stress response.
Now, are the issues that an individual is targeting physical or emotional?
Actually, it works with both. I mean, I discovered it when I had a frozen shoulder, and this therapist said, hey, this works for physical and emotional issues. After 15 minutes, my frozen shoulder was gone. And I think basically we hold emotional stressors in our bodies and our musculature. And when we release that emotional stress, often our physiology improves and heals.
Did you say 15 minutes?
15 minutes, and I had a frozen shoulder for 2 years.
Do you think there's some sort of primal instinct that we may have, to just do that naturally?
Yes, I think you're absolutely right, because we naturally sort of soothe ourselves. We touch our face on these points all the time, and we don't realize we're doing it because we're self-soothing. And these points are more electrically conductive than other areas of your skin, and that's why they're relaxing. That's why they've been used in acupuncture for thousands of years. So first, you basically have to learn where the tapping points are, and then you focus on the issue that's bothering you. As long as you're tuned into the issue, you can't be thinking about your grocery list or something. You've got to be focused on what you want to heal, what's stressing you. You give it a number between 0 and 10, 0 being not upsetting at all, and 10 being I'm as disturbed as I can imagine. And then you just start tapping. It works best when you work on one issue and make it as specific as possible. My patients, they get the best results when they kind of talk to themselves about the issue. Like, I've had this pain in the neck for a while. It started when my mother-in-law came to visit, things like that. And if you just sort of physically tap as you're focused in on and sort of talking to yourself about what's bothering you.
I love the mother-in-law. But what exactly is occurring in the brain when someone begins tapping?
Basically, it's really amazing, because tapping on these acupressure points while you're focused in on the problem actually changes your brain waves. They go from high beta, which is anxious, to alpha, which is more meditative and that calm, alert state. And it just lowers cortisol. It balances serotonin and dopamine. All of this has been tested. There's over 100 studies in 10 different countries. It basically deactivates the amygdala, the part of the brain that's involved in fear and pain.
So, Dr. Mojas, what are some of the most essential tapping points that you would suggest?
Well, let's all try it together. So as I'm showing you the points, focus in on some kind of tension or something that's bothering you, and give it a number. And then we're just going to do really quickly right here at the beginning of the eye is the first point, okay? And you're just kind of focusing in like, oh, there's pain in my neck. And then you go to the side of the eye, right there at the bone, not the temple, but the bone, okay? Oh, this tension in my neck. And then you want to go under the eye, right on the bone, under the eye. All these issues in my neck, I'm not really even sure what it's about. And then you go under the nose. This pain in the neck, under the bottom lip, I can hardly move my head, okay? And then you go right to the collarbone, and it's right underneath it. There's a little notch right under the collarbone. That's the next point. And you just focused in on, oh my goodness, I've been so stressed out, and it's all in my neck. And then under the armpits, right about 4 inches, 5 inches under the armpit, directly underneath, release and let it go. Side of the hand, karate chop point. Even though I have this stress in my body and my neck, I choose to find a way to relax and feel peaceful anyway. And then top of the head, let it go, let it go, let it go. I'm okay, I'm gonna be okay. That's just one round of tapping. Those are the main points. But you can go online and find out lots of information about this. It's amazing.
I feel that I have an advantage tapping at the top of my head because I don't have as much of a buffer as everybody else.
Good.
I think what's important, and I started actually doing some meditation during this whole epidemic. So I think when we focus on ourselves a little bit, you know, and just sort of go into this trance state, I think it's a winner. I think it could definitely help.
I love the way you just put that. That's exactly right. And when we're okay, when we're self-regulating, when we're managing our stress well, we can show up as the best version of ourselves. And then everybody can be a little calmer and a little kinder, which is, I think, a good goal for this year.
Amen. Dr. Kathleen Mojas, thank you so much for teaching and sharing your tapping tools. I'm a believer. For more information about tapping and Dr. Mojas, head to our website, thedoctorstv.com. Start tapping out there and don't go anywhere. There's a lot more after the break. Coming up.